Hey, what's up? It's your girl Nique, and you're tuned in to Nique at Night.
Always bringing you the truth, girl. I wanna stay up with you tonight. Nique at Night. Bringing you the tea, girl. The only place I'd rather be is up with you, girl.
Tonight we're going to be going over what happened BET weekend, me covering the red carpet, me running into some people, my thoughts on the overall experience, and we're just going to jump right into it. Today, I don't know, because people, when you don't have a whole lot of food, they say it's not really a mukbang, but I don't really eat big, large portions like that, so all of my mukbangs are going to be regular portion meals that I'm gonna eat, because I'm not gonna, like, at first I was gonna go all out, buy all this food. I'm not about to do that, okay? It is what it is. It's a mukbang for me because I'm eating. So today we're going to be eating these colossal onion rings. I have a veggie burger, and this veggie burger, it don't even look bomb.com, but we are going to smash this veggie burger. And you know, I got my ranch on deck. I'm not a vegan, just to put that out there, but I do not like to eat beef. I have not eaten beef in a very long time. I just now recently started back eating chicken, however, because I had cut all meat out altogether, but I just reintroduced chicken recently, so I've been eating chicken. And I got my little veggie burger on deck, and that is what it is. Anyways, okay, so those of you guys who are familiar, and I got my moon juice, okay? It is nice and chilly. I don't know if you can see. The moon juice is nice and chilly. Got the moon juice on deck. Okay, so those of you who know, I've been doing industry events, industry stuff. I started out on YouTube in 2008. I did modeling in 2008, and I also did celebrity news and gossip before it was as popular as it is now, and where you see all of these people like breaking out and doing really well doing celebrity news and gossip. I was one of a kind, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had your B. Scotts and you had your Philip DeFrancos, but it wasn't anybody like me that I seen that was doing commentary, and I wanted to bring that to the women's genre. I was also pursuing modeling at the same time, so I kind of, put a halt on my celebrity news. I left this platform for, I want to say, like 8 years or so, and then now you see me coming back. When I came back to this platform, I then started to do celebrity news and commentary again after something that I've already done. So I say that to say, I started out doing commentary in 2008, and while I was doing commentary in 2008, I was also pursuing modeling. And when I was pursuing modeling, I used to go to red carpet events. I used to do industry parties. I used to mix and mingle with a lot of celebrities. I used to do a lot of networking. So me now doing the same thing, but just in a different way, it's interesting because back in the day, like, I wouldn't like really deal with celebrities that I didn't have to really deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's more so like building my brand, and it's built around celebrity news. I kind of want to introduce certain things to you guys, but like, I'm supposed to be eating. See, this is the part that I always fail on mukbangs, is the part where I start talking and I forget that I'm supposed to be eating. So I'm going to try out these onion rings first. And this one ain't breaking as easily as I would have hoped. And I'm going to smash this onion ring right here. I had onion rings the other day. Well, like a few days ago. They were bomb. These ones, well, that one particularly was all right. So back in the day, the celebrities, although they have some control over their music videos, they have more control over their music videos now. But back in the day when I was pursuing music videos, it was mainly the casting directors and management and different and like creative directors who are the ones who sought out the girls and picked the girls. So when I would go to industry events, I wouldn't be trying to cozy up to celebrities and make phony relationships and be all in their face. I would be having a good time, living my life, living the life of a young woman in her early 20s with no responsibilities, carefree, but also with the goal in mind to link with people who can put me in videos, which would be casting directors, creative directors, managers, publicists, and things like that. So when I go to parties, my focus will be them. Like, who's such and such manager? I would find out who's their manager, because the team behind them is what is the force to get them to where they are. And that's who I want to link up with. I would link up with or try to network with the casting directors, the, you know, things like that. So now when, you know, I'm doing the red carpet, like I said, it's just a whole different ball game from, you know, what I'm used to. I would just be cool with who was cool with me. If a celebrity sparked up a conversation with me, they had cool vibes, you know, we just happened to conversate, cool, you know, and I would never force anything, because at the end of the day, I feel like I'm the shit, you know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like you know more special than me. You got a chance, an opportunity, and you out here and you making it or whatever. And so I would treat them just as such. You a person, I'm a person. Ain't you know what I'm saying? I never glorified or idolized celebrities. You know, so I started off BET weekend with an event on Thursday, which is called the Taste to Young Hollywood. And the Taste of Young Hollywood is an event put on by a woman by the name of Miss Diddy. She has a lot of industry connects. She is very well known, and her Taste of Young Hollywood events are really nice, and it's really good, you know, networking opportunities for people to just mix and mingle, and it's a really good event to be at. Last year, I covered a Taste of Young Hollywood, and Lauren London was being honored. Nipsey Hussle came with her. I showed you guys video footage of me, you know, like filming Nipsey Hussle and, you know, Lauren London. And it was a really, really nice event. At that event, I interviewed Marla Negra. I interviewed Luke James, Keith Powers. Who else did I interview? I interviewed Angela Rye. I interviewed a good amount of people. Like, it was a lot of people there. A lot of who's were there. And so this year, you know, when it came around, I'm like, you know, I want to get on that carpet again. I want to interview again. Like, you know, it's a good look and it's a good opportunity to be at. So I submitted, because when you get on these red carpets, you kind of submit your platform. They accept you or don't accept you, and it is what it is. They accepted me, and I'm like, all right, cool, it's a go. We about to get these interviews and things like that. So when I get there, you know, I'm all ready to go. Mind you, I had got accepted to do the red carpet for 4 events on Thursday. There was like a Beats and Beer event. There was another event like a gifting suite. And then there was another event. So I got accepted to do the red carpet for 4 different events. The only problem was, you know, I just submitted to everything, and it's like, who accepts me, and who doesn't, and I'm gonna go with the best option. So to me, Tasting Young Hollywood was the best option. All of the 4 events were the same time. They all were from around 7 to 10 or 7 to 11-ish, around there. And so I ended up going with, you know, the Tasting Young Hollywood. So I got the email that I was accepted. I was excited because I'm like, all right, cool. You know, that's a really good look. I enjoyed the event last year, so I'm going to go do it again this year. Anyway, so when I get there, you know, you tell them your platform and everything like that. And the lady at the front, she told me that she didn't see me on the list. So I'm like, well, here's my email, here's my credentials, here's everything that I was sent, all the information or whatever. And they were like, okay, well, the only problem is we have a tight space on the carpet. We had to do some readjusting, blah, 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 blah. We don't have a placeholder for you. I'm like, you don't got a placeholder? Hey, we just gonna have to make it work, you know? When we get there, the red carpet, it's a lot different than what it was last year. Last year, it was just all level. red carpet, and you got in where you fit in, and it was a lot of room, and it was a larger red carpet for more media. This year, it was kind of like a stage. So when you walk there, it's kind of like a stage where, area, and then on the stage, it's a rail that blocks it off. And then in front of that is where media is. And then in front of the media is a rope that kind of divides the celebrity from the media. So there's this kind of divider or whatever. So the lady tells me, it's full up here on the stage. You can stand down. So it's down, like I said, it's down one level, the level, walking level. And then it's the stage where it's blocked off by the rail, and then the media, and then the rope. And then she's like, oh, yeah, you can stand right here. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way I'm going to get an interview from here. What am I going to do? Go over the rail, go over the rope? That's just ridiculous. It is what it is. If you don't have a big name, you just got to get in where you fit in. And that's pretty much what I did. I got it was a side area on the side of the stage where people right when they walked off, I set my camera up right there. And, as they came down, hey, I would like to interview you. They came over there. And ironically enough, before I even flagged anybody down, while I was setting up on the side of the stage, there was a couple people who came down, and they walked straight to me anyways. And they were like, hey, different publicists were like, hey, can you interview my client? Are you doing interviews? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sure, yeah. So I'm like, okay, so it worked out. I didn't have to be right up on the stage. I got a good quality interview still. And, I made it work. And that's kind of what happens when you are in these spaces. When you are a low name, you got to hustle. You got to make it work. You can't even let it get to you. You got to just do what you got to do. And keep in mind the goal and the reason why you are there. I'm here to network. I'm here to get these interviews. I'm here to, do what I got to do. So that's what I did. I made it work. So as I'm setting up, it was so funny because I'm setting up my camera, and I was just about to interview, I think, Cleo Thomas. And as I'm setting up about to do the interview, I look up and I see in walks Lovelyti. So she walked in, I looked up, and then she was just looking straight and just walked into where the actual event was. The red carpet and the actual event were two different rooms or whatever. So I was like, okay. And then behind, because there was a lot of people coming in at once. So she comes in or whatever. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting or whatever. And then in walks Maul from the Joe Budden podcast. And so if you guys see my commentary, I also did a commentary on Maul from the Joe Budden podcast where I was talking about colorism and how, that's how these men are, and just calling out his tweets and all this kind of stuff. So the first two people, as I'm setting up, I see is Lovelyti and Maul from the Joe Budden podcast. So I'm like, I tell my friend that was with me, I was like, oh yeah, give me a drink because tonight is about to be interesting, okay? So I did my interviews, and I interviewed Barton. Let me get it right because he told me it's Barton. I interviewed Barton Fitzgerald from The Chi. He plays Reg on The Chi. I interviewed Cleo Thomas. You guys always see him under the Shade Room comments. He did Holes, the child Disney star character. I interviewed a girl who was on T.I.'s Grand Hustle. I interviewed Melissa Ford. I really had a good time interviewing Melissa Ford. She was so down to earth, nice, and pleasant. And all of these people came up to me with no problem, as they got off the red carpet, or even if they were away from the red carpet a little bit. And my friend, she would help me out because I can't seek them out and then do it at the same time. So she would get them for me, bring them to me, and they were pleasant, fine. I had a good time interviewing them. But then it was Rotimi, because Rotimi was also one of the honorees at the event. And that's somebody who I really wanted to do an interview with. I think the interview would have been really dope. Rotimi gets off the red carpet, just like everybody else had gotten off the red carpet. I said, hey, Rotimi, can I interview you? Because some people I could just ask them straight out myself, but some people would be a little bit out of my reach that it was easier for my friend to ask. So I I asked Rotimi, and he looked at me and he pointed to his publicist. I always forget to eat, but honestly, you guys, this veggie burger is not smashing, and these onion rings are not that bomb. Like I had these onion rings like a few days ago, and they were bomb. Anyway, so so he points to his publicist, like, oh, she wants to interview me or whatever. His publicist literally looks over at me, looks me up and down, and says no. I was like, she literally looked at me, looked me up and down, and was like, no. And so I'm a person, I don't like to make everything be a race thing, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's just a certain feeling. Like sometimes like people really feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, it's just a vibe. So I'm not saying that that's what it was, but there do be a lot of discrimination that we come across. And on top of the discrimination that we naturally come across, on top of that, people look at you like you beneath them, like, oh, you know, she ain't on the stage, she on the side. They probably thought like my thing was bootleg or whatever. My setup didn't look bootleg at all, honestly. You know, it was very professional setup. I had my light, I had my, my camera, my tripod, I got my mic, I got everything set up. But just simply me not being on the main portion where all the rest of the media was, like she could have even looked at that, like, you know what I'm saying, oh, she's bootleg. But little does she know, I actually do have an audience, and a lot of the publications that she probably granted an interview with probably don't even have the same amount of reach that my audience has or whatever. But it is what it is. That's kind of what you have to deal with, and that's what comes with it. So, the Rotimi, he was like no, and so I was like, well, no, his publicist said no. And I looked at Rotimi because, he was with them, he was like close enough to me or whatever. And I'm like, Rotimi, like, I was like, you your own man. Because he looked like he kind of wanted to do it. But at the same time, he was like, he pointed to his publicist to make the decision for him or whatever. And then he was like, oh, I'm working right now. And I'm just like, okay, like I'm a part of the event. Like I was just like, whatever.
I ended up just taking a photo with him, but then afterwards I was just like, I didn't even want to post the photo because me, like, I get interactions with celebrities, and if they don't really give me that much of a good vibe or they give me the feeling that I'm beneath them, I don't post up the photo like everything is like all good. Me, I'm hardly a person who's like if I'm not like good vibes with you or cool with you or sparked up a conversation, like I hardly ask people for photos or whatever, but sometimes I will. And the times that I do, when the people give me a vibe to where I'm beneath them, I don't post it because it's like, I don't need to post you. Like at the end of the day, like it's not that deep. So this was one of those where I took a photo, realized later, like I ain't posting him. But I'm just showing y'all because, y'all be liking receipts. And like I told y'all in the beginning, when I interact with these people, I feel like you have a moment right now and I'm the shit and my moment will be later. So if they feel like they're above me, I just chuck it up my deuces and call it a day and be like, boy, bye. Because when I have my moment, I will remember that. Okay.
So then, I see Damon John, which is Shark Tank. And I am a huge fan of Shark Tank. I watch Shark Tank all the time. That is one of my favorite shows. I really love that show, whatever. So when I seen Damon, I told him, can I get an interview? And at the time that Damon had came, my light that's on my camera, on top of my camera, is battery operated. I had already been there for like 2 hours and the light had been on. Like I would be turning it on and off between, interviews. But by the time he arrived closer to the end, my light was very, very dim. So the light wasn't that bright. Like it was on, but it wasn't that bright. So I told him, I'm like, my friend is going to hold up the cell phone camera just so that we can get some more light. And when I said that, like, you know, at the same time as I'm saying that, I'm turning my head and my head is down. And I was like grabbing my mic and, you know, holding my mic. And he had like rolled his eyes, something mean. And I didn't even catch it. Like, I didn't even see it or know about it. And when I got done with the interview, my friend, she was like, ooh, he rolled his eyes at you like something serious. And I was so taken aback. Like, I was like, he did? Like, because I didn't even see that he had rolled his eyes until she had said it. She was like, yeah, like, he really rolled his eyes at you. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. I need extra light because my light is going out. Sorry. I need extra light because my light is going out. Sorry.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Nique at Nite, and we have Damon John. He is the pioneer with the FUBU movement, and he transitioned into Shark Tank, being a business mogul. And we got a chance to talk to him real quick.
All right, what's happening?
Hey, how are you?
But I didn't even really take it no type of way. It is what it is. Like, you get in where you fit in, and the places that you don't fit in, you build your own spot. The same people, and I just take it as a mental note. The same people who, you know what I'm saying, look at you a certain type of way when you're not as big are going to be the same people who are going to be begging for a seat at the table when you do get to where you are going. And it is what it is. You just take a mental note and you brush it off and you keep it pushing. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm just saying that to you guys. Don't let certain things knock you off your course or, you know what I'm saying, make you feel like, oh, damn. No, just keep doing your thing anyways. So that's what I did. I kept doing my thing. And lo and behold, I'm there. You know, I'm still, you know, I'm vibing. At this point, I done had me a drink. Now I'm just like mellow. I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm networking. I'm mixing and I'm mingling. And I look up and the owner of the Shade Room was walking, like she was like towards the end of the red carpet. And so I see her and I kind of do like a smile because I recognized who it was. And I was like, and I was looking at her and I was like, dang, she's really pretty. Like, her pictures do her no justice at all. Like, she's really pretty. So I did kind of like a smile or whatever because I realized who it was. And she was like towards the edge of the carpet. I turned my back and I'm like, I don't know what I was doing like with my equipment. And then I get a tap on my shoulder. So I get a tap on my shoulder. And it was Angie, the owner of the Shade Room. And so she comes up to me and she tells me, hi. And I was like, oh, hey, you know, I was like, you're the owner of the Shade Room. She was like, yeah. And then, you know, we had a conversation and I was like, oh, dope. I was like, I did a video on you before. And then she was like, yeah, I seen it. She was like, I watch your videos all the time. And I was like, you watch my videos all the time. Like, so I just say that to say there will be some people who will overlook you, but you never know who has their eye on you and who is seeing what you're doing and acknowledging the work that you're putting in. So that, you know, that whole experience just told me a lot. Like, you know, no matter what, no matter who overlooks you, no matter how it may look or whatever, keep doing your thing because you never know who is watching, okay? After the Toast to Young Hollywood, a lot of people, they went to the next event, and my friend was kind of at this event already, and he was telling me to come to the event. It was a Terrence J, Mac Wilds, Keith Powers. It was their event that they had, so I went to that one after. Unfortunately, that event was kind of like at a club, and you know, like when you go to, I don't really like to go to clubs. Like when I was in my early 20s, you know, you catch me at the club all the time. It is what it is. I'm going out. I'm having a good time. But me now, like back in the day, they did not allow you to smoke cigarettes or blunts or cigars, Black and Milds in the club. Like that was just not something that was allowed. Did people sneak and smoke here and there? Yes, but was it allowed? No. So it wasn't a club filled with smoke environment. Like you would get told to stop. Now, you go to the club now, it's like one big hot box. Everybody is smoking like cigarettes back to back, Black and Milds back to back. I'm too old for that. I don't want to smell like smoke. I don't like that. Me, I don't really mind too much like weed smoke if somebody smokes weed, but like cigarette smoke, Black and Mild smoke, I don't want to smell like that. And it was just, I was like, mm-mm. So I didn't stay at the Keith Powers, Mac Wilds event for long. Like, you know, it was a lot of the same people that was at the Toasty Young Hollywood event anyway. So I just ended up going home, and then I just was like, you know what, I'll turn up the next day. So the next day I had an event in the morning, but from the drive, because I drove home, I live an hour away from LA. So I ended up driving home, and from me driving home, and you know, like it had been a while since I've been out, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to make that event. So the next event that I had that was later on in the day was Trina's event. Trina's event was her album release party. It was Trina's album release party. She had released her song Baps with Nicki Minaj, and she had a song with Seven. Like she had her album is kind of, I don't really care for the Baps song that much, but she got some dope songs that are on the album that I do like. So I was like, all right, this will be cool. So I went to the Trina album release party, and it was like some people there. There was a few people there. Trina was there. I took a photo with Trina. I think Bernice Bogos, the Jasmine brand, the owner of the Jasmine brand was there. Lala was there. And it was a few people that was there. And so I went to that. That was cool. I enjoyed myself there. Then after that, then we went to the club. And, you know, we ended up at the club again. So we went to the club, and the baby was performing. So my friend, she knew the promoter. And he got us right in to the club or whatever. At this point, I'm like, I'm not even putting no heels on. Because I had already had heels on all at the other event. I went to the club the night before. I was not impressed, and I wasn't trying to impress nobody. So I didn't even put no heels on. I'm like, I don't even give a damn. I got my sandals on, and we about to go up in this damn club. And lo and behold, we get into the club. The club is jam-packed. Packed up in there like some sardines. True enough, the baby was there. Casanova was there. Who else was there? It was a few people that was there, but I don't give a goddamn. Time to go. So I didn't stay long. Well, we was in there. I got a couple snaps. You know, I showed the area or whatever. Like, oh, okay, we're here, but we're not here for long because I really ain't too much impressed. And I'm not like the club scene for me. Like, yes, it could be fun. But, you know, I like chill, low-key events to where it's like chill. Everybody is mixing and mingling. It's not like, you know, a secluded thing. That's what I like. So we probably was there for like 30 minutes. And then we left. So then the next day, was an event with, in the morning, it was an event with, well, it was a few events. And so this is what would happen. A lot of people, there were so many different events, and a lot of people would have different events on the same time slots. So I'm looking at the events that, you know what I'm saying, that I could go to. And the most interesting one was Hollywood Unlocked. Hollywood Unlocked was honoring Cardi B. That's what they had first. Hollywood Unlocked Social Impact Brunch honoring Cardi B, Tiffany Haddish, you know, this and that and third. I said, oh, baby, I gotta be there. This is gonna be interesting. So I went to the event, and, you know, I'm in the event or whatever, and I walk by where the carpet is, and I spot Lovelyti again. And so the first time at the Toasty Young Hollywood, I seen her walk in. And I sat up and I did my interviews, and I was on the red carpet for quite a while. Well, doing interviews by the red carpet for quite a while. And, when I went inside, because after I was done, I put up my equipment, and then I mingled and mixed with the crowd for the rest of the time. And I went in there because they had like this room where they were honoring people. And so I went in there and was, watching the honorees, and a lot of people was coming. Asian doll, she was actually, I don't know why, looking at her pictures, I thought that she was short, but she's actually very tall. She came with Black China, and there was a lot of, if I get to naming, I'll probably be naming half of Hollywood, if I get to naming all the people that was there. But anyway, so there at that event, I didn't see her again. Like, I went into the room and I was just mixing and mingling. I didn't see her again or whatever. And so at that event at Hollywood Unlocked, I seen her. So, the last time I knew of, she blocked me. Like I told y'all before, I never had an issue with Lovelyti. It came as a surprise to me when I seen that she blocked me. I was like, when I think something had happened. I think I think she had went on that 8-hour phone call or whatever, and I was being nosy. Went to her page, and I was blocked. And the reason I knew I was blocked and I wasn't tripping, because I have been following her page. I follow all the bloggers that blog. I follow, Armand Wiggins. I think he be throwing me shade sometimes, but I follow him if he ain't blocked me by now. But I definitely follow him. I follow Daytime Tea Time. Before Tasha K page was deleted, I followed Tasha K. I was following Lovelyti. I was following, still am, unless, I follow them. I ain't clicked unfollow to anybody. So anybody who I'm not following is because they have taken me off of the following. But I follow pretty much everybody. I follow Chronicle Speaks. I follow everybody. So I definitely was following her. And so, because I don't have beef with nobody. Like, even if I see slick shade or if I see, different stuff. I really don't be taking stuff as serious as a lot of people be taking it. Like, if I feel a need to say something, I'll say it. If I don't, I don't. It really don't be that deep. So when I went, and being that I never had an issue with her, I seen that I was blocked. I was like, oh, she blocked me. And so I told y'all that I was blocked. And within that, people also wanted to know what I felt about, the whole 8-hour phone call and things like that. And I told y'all what I thought. A lot of people felt like, oh, we see that Tasha K be posting her, so the only reason she's saying what she's saying about Lovelyti is because, she's a Tasha K minion. I've told y'all time and time again. And I don't understand, if you go back, let's say, even if you go back to my videos when I first started commentary, I was more hood back in the day because I come from a hood upbringing. I already told y'all that. I don't know, because I know how to act, I know how to speak. I think people confuse it and they think otherwise. I was more hood back then, but I had the same energy that I do now. Like, I'm the same person. I just talk a little bit better, because I'm older. And I'm not as, around as much as the same environment as I was before. But if you go back to my commentary from 2008, when I first started this, before anybody was doing it, I reported the same. You know what I'm saying? I gave my thoughts on the situation. I gave how I feel. I wasn't influenced. Tasha K wasn't even on this platform in 2008. So I definitely wasn't influenced by her in making decisions on my thoughts back then. And I definitely am not influenced on anybody making my decisions now. How I viewed the situation is genuinely how I viewed it. I thought that, neither party was innocent. And that was that. A lot of you subs, y'all went and y'all took it as, oh, well, she must got alliance with Tasha K, so, this and that. And that's not the case. I don't have a problem with Tasha K, and I didn't have a problem with Lovelyti. However, you guys fueled that. It was a lot of people, you know, talking a lot of shit or whatever. And from the way everything happened, I felt like, I was like, oh, you know, when I heard the conversation with T and Tasha, and I heard Lovely's response, and one of the things that she said in her response was, oh, what is she gonna do? Release me talking about YouTubers? We all talk about YouTubers, blah 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 blah. So at that point, I was like, oh, okay, well, it probably makes sense. And that's when I made my second video. I think it was my second video on the situation. And I said, you know, I feel like, you know, the only thing that would make sense to me would be that she already had a problem with me, because I never, you know, me and Tasha K, we don't sit up on the phone. We don't sit up on the phone and be like, oh, hey, girl, how you doing? How your day? Oh, girl, you my friend. We friends. No. I've talked to Tasha K. I probably could still count on one hand how many times I talked to her. And so, to me, I looked at that situation. I was like, oh, she's playing a chess move against the people that she probably ain't feeling. So, fast forward to me going to the event or whatever, and being that I just simply gave y'all my thoughts like I always give y'all my thoughts. Okay, so I had to go and put some more lip stuff on because my lips was not, they needed some life. Anyways, okay, so I get on the carpet, right? I get on the carpet, I spy her or whatever. And, you know, I'm like, does she really got funk? I'm not going to go to these type of events and be trying to fight nobody. But, like, I just try to check people's temperature. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's your temperature? Because, like I said, the first encounter, you know, she walked by. I didn't see her again or whatever. So I just was checking her temperature. Go on the carpet. I see her. And I was like, oh, interesting. She was interviewing, I think, Perez Hilton. And, you know, I just got my phone. And I'm just like, doing one of these or whatever. And I'm like sitting there, my friend was next to me or whatever. And I just wanted to see how she was going to respond or whatever. Like if she rolled her eyes, then I would have just been like, okay, cool. You know, she rolled her eyes. If she say hi, she say hi. But I just wanted to, you know, feel where, like, you know, what the deal is. And if there was a problem, we could just, you know, address it in a civil manner. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it ain't a time and a place, and I'm not that type, especially if you ain't stole no money from me, if you ain't did nothing to my child, if you ain't, you know what I'm saying, did nothing so, like, foul or over the border, it really ain't that deep to me. You know what I'm saying? It just not. Like, and that whole situation, it wasn't that deep to me because it wasn't my issue in the beginning. I said how I felt and how I viewed the situation. It wasn't no jabs. It wasn't nothing like that. That's how I genuinely felt. So, her little response, it wasn't that deep to me. I'm just like, it is what it is. You know, we could be cool or we could not be cool. Either way, I'm still gonna, you know, do my thing or whatever. But to have an enemy over something that's senseless is to me also senseless. So, you know, I'm standing there, and when she turns around from doing her interview, she looks at me, she smiles, and she says, hi. And then so, you know, like a welcoming hi, like hi, like, you know, like a happy to see you hi. And so I was like, hi, you know. And so from there, that's when we started to have a conversation. And when we had our conversation, she told me that, what did she say? I don't know how exactly what all was said or whatever, but I just knew a couple things. I was just like, you know, I never had an issue with you or whatever because I didn't, you know, and I told y'all I didn't have an issue with her, you know, and I let her know. I was like, you know, I just felt like you must have been having an issue with me the way things happen because, you know, that's just how I took it. Like, I'm like, oh, you know, Tasha's posting me. I don't really even talk to Tasha like that. I felt like she was playing chess, and I felt like I must have been somebody that you probably were talking about that, you know what I'm saying, for you to feel some type of way in the manner, because I never had done a video talking about her or anything, like throwing shade or anything at her at all. Like, I was totally out of their beef, period. You know, and so she was just like, you know, I didn't know, like, I thought that she was going back telling her stuff and saying stuff. And I'm like, T, I don't talk to Tasha on the phone, and I don't talk to you on the phone. I don't talk to neither one of y'all on the phone. So how am I going to be going back and saying anything to anybody? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I could see if I talked to you on the phone, and then I talked to Tasha on the phone, and then I'm going back from what you tell me, then I'm going back telling her. I'm like, but I don't talk to neither one of y'all on the phone, so how, like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, that don't even make sense. And then she was like, yeah, you're right. That's just how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she probably, you know, be going back saying stuff or whatever. And I guess she probably meant it as, if I'm cool with her, she assumed that if Tasha K's posting me, then that must mean that I probably be talking shit about her. But that's not me. If it ain't my beef, it ain't my beef. If I ain't got an issue with you, I don't have an issue with you. Just because I'm like, you know what I'm saying, ain't got no problem with this person and you got a problem with them, that don't mean that I got a problem with you, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I guess she assumed. And of course, subscribers, they intensify situations. They egg on situations, and they make situations be more than what it was. And I was like, no, I don't even know y'all like that to be even going back and forth. I don't talk to y'all. So that's definitely not it. You know, and then so she made sure to let me know. She was like, I never called your channel irrelevant. I just want you to know I never called your channel irrelevant. And she was like, Tasha K used to be saying that, you know, channels were irrelevant. And I was saying that what she said, like, you say these channels are irrelevant, blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, I was just like, hey, at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with you. The shit is petty. You know, I thought that it was dope, like, that they was working together in the first place. You know, but it was like a short and sweet situation. Like, we got all of that out in I don't even know if it was 5 minutes, because both of us just was saying like, well, I thought this and I felt like this, you know, and it was just like, you know, a real quick situation, but a lot was said in that little bit amount of time or whatever. And so at the end of it, you know, it just was what it was. It wasn't an issue in the beginning, and it wasn't an issue after. I seen her, you know, and our natural reaction, like when she first walked up to me, the picture that was captured was my real reaction. Wasn't nothing staged, nothing. Like, she walked up to me, she started talking, and that's how I was looking at her, because I'm trying to figure out, you know, like, you know, what the temperature is. Because, like, if somebody come at me and I've said a video about them and I've said something about them and they match me with funk and they want funk, hey, then I'll just be like, you know, it is what it is. But if, you know, you're warm, welcoming, you ain't got no problem, it ain't no problem. And that wasn't the event to even be about no rah-rah stuff anyways, but I was going regardless. I'm like, Cardi B on here, Jason Lee, this and that. I'm going to be here, and whatever it is going to be. Like, so I took my ass there, and it was that. So, you know, at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with her. A lot of people were saying, you know, that they were happy to see that we did come together and clear the air. And that's just what grown women do. And at the end of it, I still don't have a problem with Tasha, and I don't have a problem with her. I'm not in their beef. But being a YouTuber, I just want you guys to know, although I'm still going to give my honest opinion. A lot of people, when they like a person, they only want you to say cute, cuddly, and furry things about them. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't say everything, like, if you don't paint them as being innocent, then they're like, oh, you're against them. No, like, I tell my friends when they on some bullshit, like, that's just how I am. Like, if I'm cool with you or not, like, I give my opinion based on how I view things. And when I give my opinion, I give what I feel like is a fair opinion of the situation. So if another situation pops up, I'm still going to give my opinion. There ain't no beef with me and her. You know, there wasn't no beef before that situation. There ain't no beef with me and Tasha. There wasn't no beef before. I've given my opinions on Tasha that weren't all cute, cuddly, and furry. And, you know, she respects my opinion, and it is what it is. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys. I met up with Lovelyti at this event, and we were able to talk or whatever and square that away.
Which is something that more women should be able to do, especially if the issue is petty. So big up to Lovelyti and her platform. A lot of people thought like, oh, you know, we're about to be besties or something. She's cool. I respect her platform, but y'all know I keep my distance. I do my thing, and I, you know, cheer from the sidelines for other black women doing their thing. Like I've always told you guys, I was one of the main people who thought that it was dope when her and Tasha K had came together, because they both had these these platforms and they were joining forces, and I thought it was dope. So maybe, hopefully, I mean, I know there's a lot of damage that has been done to that situation, but maybe hopefully some positive will come from even that, you know, with them too, and maybe they'll be able to hash it out enough to be cordial. But I just wanted to share with you guys how I met with her. We cleared the air. You know, we were grown women about it. We talked about it, and we got over it because it wasn't a big deal anyways. But let me finish getting back to explaining what it was like to cover BET Weekend and how I felt overall with the overall experience.
I just do my thing or whatever, and that's just what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to continue to, you know, work this industry and make waves for myself. It's very, very different for me now because, like I said, back in the day, I used to go to parties with a different goal. I used to go to parties to have fun. It was about networking, but it was more so fun based. I'm having fun. You know, rich guys are pursuing me. Rappers are pursuing me. It was fun, you know what I'm saying? And I was like trying to network and go after casting directors and producers of shows and, you know, all of that stuff. And, you know, it was more fun to me. I was younger. I didn't have a child. And, you know, I was just, you know, out there having fun. Now I'm actually trying to build a brand. So now when I hit Hollywood, number one, I've already done all of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as exciting probably for me as it is for somebody who's doing it for the first time around. Like when I did it for the first time around, it was fun. It was fun to be in these spaces. It was fun to be in these environments. Now it's more so business. I'm building a brand. I'm talking to people that I really would not normally talk to. You know, like when I would be at celebrity events before, like I said, the celebrities who would spark up conversations and be cool, like, because in most of these events, they're just like mixers. Like if you go to, like, say you have a house party and you invite all your friends over, your friends are not secluded areas and branched off. That's kind of how these celebrity events and matching parties are. Everybody's mixed and mingling together. People are not like all secluded because everybody is industry and everybody is cool. So
despite the negatives that come with it, people like Real Timmy saying no, they don't want to interview Damon, you know, rolling his eyes and things like that, I'm just going to adapt to where I am now and roll with the punches.
I'm going to continue to be pursuing this the same way that I've been pursuing it. I'm going to continue to do these red carpet events, and, you know, I'm going to continue because, like I said, those who overlook you, there are people who you don't even know that are looking at you, and you just got to keep going because you never know when it's your moment, and what's for you is for you, and what's not is not. And that's why I'm not in competition with no other female. I've been doing this for long enough. I've been with, you know, like I've gone up against some heavy hitters, and a lot of people like to compare numbers. But that, like I said, they fail to realize how certain people have had some type of big controversy surrounding them that shoots up a lot of their numbers. Me, I'm not about controversy. Will I say what I feel? Yes. But overall, am I about, you know, controversy like that? No. So it's going to be a slower climb for me, and I don't mind that. You get what I'm saying? I started this in 2008 before a lot of people did commentary in my sector, the black sector of YouTube. I stopped doing it to pursue other things, and now I'm coming back on this platform and doing what I set out to do 10 years ago, and I'm going to continue moving at my pace and in my own race, okay? So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm going to have more mukbangs. I got to get better. I'm so disappointed in my onion rings, y'all. I just had it set because, I had some bomb onion rings that I was eating when I did my R. Kelly video, and I just thought that I was going to have a better, like, you know, that same, because they was so bomb, but it wasn't. But anyways, let me wrap this up. I'm just rambling at this point. Y'all know at the end I get to rambling. So that's all for that videos. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in.